Welcome back, everyone, to Speedgaming Live and the quarterfinals of Link to the Past Randomizer. We have WillardJBradley versus ObscureLifeForm, and if you think this matchup looks familiar, that's because you just saw it yesterday. But it's a different seed today. Anything can happen. I'm Drossi, here with my buddy Josh Bittner.
Hello. Here to watch more SGL casual boots.
Yep.
We have the Fish versus Garfield. I mean, it's WillardJBradley and ObscureLifeForm. Those are their sprites. Gamers.
Garfield.boom. But yeah, if you haven't seen yesterday's race between these two, you should check it out. It was really close. There was a lead change in Turtle Rock and everything. Willard won, thereby winning their group. Obscure had to go to a play-in race, but he made it in from the play-in race. Obscure beat Dante earlier today. Willard beat Sir Link earlier today. And here they are, and here we are off.
Nice starting message, I approve.
And which means it's not boots locked at all because, well, we have boots on our feet, numpty.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, like, sleeping in a bed with your shoes on. I don't know what that's about.
Well, and remember, there is really only one boot when you see the item.
Yeah, see, I'm surprised as we are going through the escape sequence. This is going to be about 5 minutes and change of just hanging out. Maybe we get a progressive item or something.
Or at least 4 minutes and 55 seconds.
At least 4:55, yes. What we were chuckling about is, I already lost my train of thought. That's okay.
Oh, well, we got a lot of money. We got 3 bombs. We don't need bombs in escape, but they're sure nice to have for CAC.
Yeah, you know, we're just hanging out for the next, like, 5 minutes or so we can kind of set the stage of the mode, whatever you need to know. This is a wonderful time to ask questions because we both definitely are looking at chat right now.
Yeah. Hello, chat.
Okay, Drossi is now. I was referring to the fact that our phones are, like, off.
But yeah, the main thing to note here is it's casual boots with a modified item pool. Only 2 bottles.
Oh, hello. Now we can get a
Master Sword.
455 escape
Interesting.
because we can do some quick kills now.
So, yeah, that's a nice early find, though it does mean that we are a lamp away from having Aga access.
Unless you want to be incredibly brave and just do it anyway, now that we have the Master Sword and do it in the dark on 3 hearts.
But the sword also brings us to, well, 4 swords are placed. Once you find 3, the 4th will turn into a green 20. So, Tempered Sword is as strong as you're going to get.
So far, not really too much in terms of progression aside from that Master Sword, but it's nice to get the money and a couple of bombs so we don't have to do any weird bomb farming for Kakariko. So now will we remember to do spins because it would be a lot quicker.
Wow, that was very quick on Obscure's side.
Obscure remembers, Willard did not. That's okay, it's not like gonna change a whole lot.
Insurmountable lead.
It's kind of fun that we have the face cams. We just saw Willard jamming out to whatever his MSU is.
Yeah, it's kind of soft. I can't actually identify it.
Yeah, it's because it's only coming through the speakers behind it. We can only hear each other. There's no real game audio that we're really getting. But that's okay. We got each other, Drop.
Yay.
That's all we need.
Now, in terms of items, we have not yet seen the map, so that's somewhere waiting to be an annoying thing. Other than that, we got, you know, 4 items in the back. Dark Cross, 3 in the secret room, and then Sanctuary, minus 1 of them being the map.
Yeah, we already even have our small key to get through Dark Cross, so... No, we don't.
I love the fish just kind of flopping.
Yes. Obscure has one of the best sprites. A lot of people don't like it because, you know, it's... But you know what? You can use any sprite you want in the game as long as then you learn up whatever your lineups have to be for pixels and stuff like that for the tricks. And you'll be okay.
So, Obscure first 2 Dark Cross here. Oh, there's the map. Okay. So, 4 more items in the back, including Sank. Probably pieces of heart. That's another thing about this mode. There are 32 pieces of heart and only 3 heart containers.
All right, we can even have sword beams to... Oh, there's the key right away. Okay,
oh,
never mind.
Very nice. Really clean escape from Obscure here.
Yeah, at this stage of the tournament, you're going to see some very clean dash lines and top-notch execution. Garbage.
Yeah. Well, we're almost at a full supply of bombs. We really won't need to buy any anytime soon.
So this is a pretty typical casual boots. Not too much an escape, so probably both of our runners are going to go to Kakariko and continue another standard 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, well, the immediate next thing is always Bonk Rocks, and usually a Scout of Lumberjack. More money. We're getting close to Zora money. Not that Zora's in Logic, but we're going to have no trouble with Bottle Bender.
Yup. It's a pretty common play in a boot start mode where...
Okay, Obscure making a liar out of me.
He's going to the Lost Woods this way. Okay.
Willard doing what I was expecting both runners to do. Obscure's probably just clowning because he's Obscure.
20 rupees at the mushroom spot, while at Bonk Rocks we got 10 arrows. And now the drop down has a book.
That could be interesting. That gives us the entire front of Desert and Desert Ledge. We would need a glove and a fire source to actually finish it.
I'm not reading chat, but if Tyler Salt is in it, I am sure he has posted his Keck book emote, as he always does.
Oh, and Obscure is immediately taking that... I did not see what was on Lumberjack. Obscure's immediately taking the book and reading Ped, though.
Oh, it's a shield.
I don't think we're pulling Ped today.
Now we're starting to push back to Kakariko. We'll see what kind of toys we get here to tell us where to go next, aside from maybe that book.
Should be a decent CAC. And Obscure entering from this side, which you don't often see, so doing well first. The game is clearly saying, shut up and take my money.
I think we saw Willard mouth the words okay after he got that book, and is also going to check out Ped.
Hey, remember how I said we were a lamp away from having Aga in Logic?
Okie dokie. Well, I guess that's something that we can think about in Dread. We don't have a Moon Pearl, so
It's probably on Pyramid.
Yeah, unless there's like a glove or something else that's important on the Pyramid that would like give us more access to things. Probably not thinking about that just yet. Oh, clothes.
Yeah, that is our one male upgrade. The other male upgrade has just magically turned into a bloopy.
There's something that we can do now.
So Desert is now beatable. We have not gotten a map check from either runner yet, so we don't know if it's a Pendant or Crystal, but it's full clearable.
And Blind's Hut made us incredibly wealthy. Willard is mean mugging for the camera, shaking his head as he gets that lamp. He knows what that means.
Chicken Hut got anything? More money, because we don't have enough of it. Bet you there's money in back of Tavern, too, at the rate we're going.
Yeah,
We don't have a bottle for Sick Kid, though.
There's the OK boomerang, or the magical boomerang.
We can check Stun Prize at some point.
There's a map check.
Ooh, Green Pendant Desert, which we have full clear access to. I saw a regular crystal on Eastern, did not see what Hera was.
Hera was also a blue crystal as well.
Okay.
No thanks to 20 rupees on the library ledge, and we don't even need that money at race game.
Willard didn't do Blind's Hut, did he? And that's probably what his hesitation was there. I think he skipped Blind's Hut.
Ooh, that's...
He doesn't have the glove, for instance, and that's why Obscure has so much more money.
Huh.
I mean, Obscure skipping Bonk Rocks and Lumberjack is one thing. Willard skipping Blind's Hut is even more unusual. And he's gonna need to go there for the glove.
I mean, maybe it will find a bottle and you'll get sent back to check it with Sick Kid and tie that together or something along those lines.
And notice this routing, because of that early book, both runners are planning to combo the dam with going west to desert.
Yeah, that tracks. There's our Pearl. So
Okay.
now we're in danger of thinking about Aga unless we find another glove or hammer.
Yeah, we would really like to see a hammer, I think.
So Willard retreating, not going to do Ice Rod Cave at this time, while Obscure will.
Yeah, well, relevantly, because of that Blind's Hut play, Obscure has Zora money and a glove to put Zora in Logic, so I'm sure he's going to water walk over to Zora now.
Yeah, this is like a pretty standard meta play that you'll see a lot of runners do in a boot start. With or without the money. If you don't have the money, then you check the Zora ledge and then you retreat to the camper and check that. And if you do have the money, then you just pay the scam fish instead.
So.
Ooh, a shovel is our sunken prize at the dam. Willard could immediately dig that up, and it looks like they
So
will do that.
Without that glove, he has to go the long way around.
Yeah, a little annoying, and maybe he'll just push back to the Kakariko village, which would be what he'll need to do at some point.
Yeah, actually, right. Willard can't beat Desert without that glove either. And given that we've gotten all this stuff for Desert, it really makes me wonder if there's something on Green Pendant.
That's the fear. Single rupee on the Zora ledge. Nice shovel dash and 20 rupees that we're going to fluff.
Well, from Willard's perspective, it gets him closer to Zora money.
Yeah, and just a cane of Burna for your 500 rupees.
You know what they say, rock you like a Burnacane.
Indeed. Looks like we're going to go check out the Eastern Palace area on Willard's side. And it probably looks like for Obscure, they will go probably up the mountain and check that stuff out.
Yeah, not that there's much he can do on the mountain, but he never did do Bonk Rocks. This is just very unusual routing from both runners, I have to say, in terms of the skips they've made.
Yeah, I think both of them just made an immediate whoopsie-daisy, you know, being on the big stage. You have the weird white noise being pumped into your ears, and people are looking at you funny.
And we got a piece of heart jackpot on the Saha Closet slot machine. Willard not liking the layout here, and that was a piece of heart on Lumberjack, so okay.
Now it appears he'll climb the mountain. Well,
Yeah.
Willard is going to do the Eastern Palace play. No bow, so we can't beat it, but there are some checks we can check out.
Yeah, and with the lamp, Old Man is even in Logic. So he could have something for us that the game wants us to have.
Yeah, and it's also nice to have the save point because we don't have the flute for fast travel yet, so
Maybe the Old Man has the flute. That would be interesting.
I have seen it.
Maybe he'll be vanilla and have the mirror and we can go to Hera.
That'd be a solid pickup. Oh,
Hey.
look, Zora money for Willard in the cannonball chest.
We've seen, what, 3 of the 5 300s already?
Ooh, Obscure being dead rocked and now has to be incredibly careful by these flying cabbages coming his way. And, okay. We turned it in.
For a heart container, one of the 3.
And Obscure going to try to climb the mountain. Cannot take another hit or he will die as we get the big key in Eastern Palace.
And again, with that lamp, everything but the boss is in Logic and Eastern.
Ooh, the fire rod inside of Spectacle Rock. There was 20 rupees on the outside, but I think we want that fire rod right now.
Yeah, so climbing the mountain was good. Fire rod doesn't do anything for us right at this moment, but it's sure a nice weapon to have, and we'll probably need it.
A key strategy in this game is to just go where the items are and you win.
But what if they're in obscure locations?
Well, I can't help you there, but this looks like Obscure is going to now rush Desert.
Well, probably Dam first.
Yeah, Dam, then Desert. Pretty handy. We can collect some mana inside of Desert Palace to like fuel up a little, and we can have even some fire rod shots for the boss.
Right. The fire rod will make land mode nice and easy as long as we can get enough magic to use it.
This is where like you can kind of test your little bit of game knowledge to know which pots inside of dungeons have what you need for fill-ups.
And Armos Knights has an item.
Yep. Willard striking out in in Eastern Palace, rather. Not much there for us. There's Obscure picking up his shovel and gonna move off. So far, Willard still has forgotten to do Blind's Hut for that glove, so...
Yeah, I mean, I hope he didn't, like, mismark his tracker. I don't know what the runners are doing up there in terms of trackers. I assume they have laptops that they're tracking on, but I sure hope Willard didn't mismark it.
Alright, Agahnim has just another heart piece. We are leaving no stone unturned at the start of the race, so...
Yeah, so I'm interested to see what's in Desert, because that's about what we have left in Logic. And Aga.
Yeah, I'm starting to sense the Aga. If I was feeling aggressive, I might even think about just skipping Desert entirely and going to Aga 1 right now and just pulling the chute.
But we got that early book.
Yeah, you gotta chase it sometimes, maybe.
Well, and Obscure also hasn't been to Saha area, so he's probably gonna do this all the way, get the green pendant, and then actually give the green pendant to Saha.
Yeah, it's pretty thorough but very efficient routing, so I support it.
And it does exhaust all your possibilities before you face the wizard.
So Obscure skipping 2 minor small magic pot refills there, so I don't think his fire rod is really top of mind right now.
Yeah, a little bit surprising because, again, you know, under the circumstances, you got to be thinking, hey, what do you know? Vanilla bottle from the hobo. So Sick Kid could have something. It's out of Logic, but Sick Kid could have something, and maybe if Willard goes to Sick Kid, he'll... Ooh!
Hello, hookshot.
Yeah, okay, so that just opened up a lot of Death Mountain.
So that would have exploded me if I had said, oh, I'm just going to do Aga 1, you know, just skip Desert, and whoops-a-daisy.
Yeah, and Obscure going for the boss here, hoping the boss has the second item and he can just skip right side.
Yeah, I mean, plus it's the green pendant, as you say, so it's potentially worth getting. Waterfall Fairy, just having a B, no thank you.
Yeah. And in this item, modified item pool, bottles will always be empty when you find them. But yeah, as I was saying, hopefully Willard will go to check Sick Kid and he'll remember that he skipped Blind's Hut because he kind of needs that glove.
Yeah, he can only go so far without that glove because probably the other one is in the Dark World.
And it looks like Death Mountain is going to be our answer for the moment based on that hookshot in Desert.
Yeah, I would push to the mountain now if I were in that position. Oh, not quite enough mana for that last torchlight, but he gets it back in time.
That is... I don't know why he didn't grab some little magic pots on the way.
Probably just content with doing sword spins or something along those lines.
I guess so. It does take 4 sword spins.
Oh dear,
per worm.
Willard.
He's going to be forced there eventually because, you know, eventually not having a glove limits where you can go, ooh, Quake Medallion. Oh no, he really has forgotten about Blindside.
I mean, he is going to run out of checks, and maybe he'll just pause his game and have a think. And
there is an item on right side desert, but we do get the green pendant.
now, while Willard cannot defeat Desert, he still can collect the hook shot and go to the mountain with
He
that.
can't go to the mountain without the glove.
The glove? Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That
no,
glove is
that's the
killing us.
thing. He is going to have to go to Blind's Hut at some point. I mean, because the hook shot's got... Well, oh. Let's see here. He could think that the hook shot is pointing to Aga and then West Dark World, but he doesn't have a glove or hammer or flippers, so he can't get to that point to hook shot to West Dark World if he were to do Aga.
Yeah, this is going to be...
So, yeah, at some point he just needs to realize what he's forgotten. And second item is useless in desert, so I think... Is Obscure gonna... Yeah, he's starting at his house, so he is gonna go to Saha, turn in the green pendant, see if it's anything. Willard's gonna pick up that hook shot, and hopefully he can figure out that, you know, this means he's missing something.
Obscure checking the Lake Hylia Island. There was nothing important there. Now let's see if we did all that prize, you know, all that work for nothing here at Saha. What's the turn-in?
We haven't had enough money this seed.
An even bigger cash reward.
And Obscure not dipping Eastern, which we know that'll work out for him because there's nothing there except maybe on Armos, but we can't get to Armos. But more importantly, here's East Death Mountain.
Yeah, this is going to be probably something for us here. Willard is probably rushing Aga now. Probably thinking that both gloves are in the Dark World or something. That can happen, but not in this seed.
If this is not an Aga seed, this is pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, this, I mean, doing Aga is a significant time sink. We're about to open 7 chests here, so let's see. Ooh, the flute.
Which doesn't do anything for us at the moment. We need the myths, and then we can think about Mire area.
All right, the big 5. Boomerang so far and some stuff. Really nothing here.
But that flute does mean that Death Mountain is hard locked behind a glove.
Yes. So this is going to be a real problem for Willard eventually. One more check for Obscure up top here. Good old Spiral Cave. And we can examine what's on the floating island.
There's our final 300.
That's pretty wild, seeing within 25 minutes all of the 300 packs.
I don't think we're picking that one up.
No, I think we're good. All right, the end of the road here for Obscure on this little chain. And we get... Oh, just more arrows.
Okay, Agaseed confirmed then, though I imagine we'll activate the flute before doing Aga. Of course, Obscure hasn't done Eastern. I don't know if he's... Okay, no, he is... he's checking the shovel. He hasn't done that either. So this is good news for Willard that the Aga climb's required anyway. Missing that glove isn't making him do an unnecessary climb.
Ooh, Willard on half a heart. Has to be careful.
Oof. Okay, he does know that there's a heart under a pot there.
But even still, in a couple of rooms, you know, he has to be careful not to get frame ruled and one-hit knocked out.
Yeah. We're most of the way up.
Yeah, we're afraid of those guards knocking us off the ledge and then for a half a heart and then falling to our death.
Ooh, I didn't notice that the stun prize was a small magic before.
Ooh, that is actually pretty convenient.
So Obscure really could have filled up his magic for the...
for land mows, but
yeah.
the spins got it done.
Willard did not get hook speed in Aga's room. But hey, if you want to guess how many blue balls we're about to see, what do you think? Is this a nice Aga or a mean Aga?
We'll probably get 4 blue balls. I'm going to call that.
Obscure, meanwhile, going to Hobo. So he'll get the bottle and...
Getting all sorts of numbers here.
Right.
Some people are even saying 12. That's pretty evil.
Now, with the glove situation is interesting because Willard's going to be forced to pod after this.
Right.
Obscure can get to West Dark World, and given that the hook shot didn't really get him anything so far except for the flute, he may well think that, hey, maybe this hook shot is a sign I should be going to Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably be interested in going to pod anyway when I'm doing Aga 1 for my Dark World entry, especially because we haven't gotten a hammer. And if I was thinking like Willard with no glove anyway, I mean, I'm assuming something's here. We're going to push pod no matter what.
And that was 3 blue balls, by the way. Perfectly average. Obscure not thrilled about that Quake Medallion.
All right. Pendant Pod, Pendant Thieves, Red Crystals at Skullwoods, and Ice Palace.
Yep. So, yeah, that's really not great for Willard. He's going to be doing a lot in Pendant Pod, whereas, again, once Obscure sees the pod's a pendant, even more likely he'll just skip it and go to West Dark World.
Yeah, I mean, it's tougher now, like what I was talking about my play, to do it as Pendant Pod. I know there are some people probably posting all the emotes in chat, believe in Pendant Pod.
Oh, is Willard gonna... Is there some sort of kern jump? No, Willard's
No.
realizing. I wasn't sure if there's some sort of kern jump you can
And
do
there's
from
the face,
east.
he's like, yep, I am a ding-dong. I am very smart. SMRT smart.
And hey, Obscure coming in here with the hook shot. He gets to skip a room or so in Eastern.
Yeah, it's always kind of fun when you have items you're not supposed to have and it lets you skip entire puzzles of the game.
But that's the joy of Randomizer, that there are different ways to solve puzzles.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like Obscure is allergic to doing Aga 1 early. So we're going to clean the entire light world before we do Aga 1 on Obscure's side. Now, we're kind of thinking for Willard, how unfortunate would it be if there was a glove here? I mean, obviously it would be required, but how much further away does it push him from collecting
Right.
the other glove that we already know about?
And you still need mitts regardless of anything. Oh, and Pod is bow locked, so Willard is now realizing he's not supposed to be here because he doesn't have the bow. I mean, he can mimic clip, or but
He's thinking about it.
looking very confused. I don't know if he has a map tracker up there that he's mismarked, or if he's mentally tracking and just somehow totally derped on Blind Sut.
Yeah, we're looking at Mimic Clip. So, because we don't have an empty bottle, we didn't purchase a drink.
Yeah, well, we have an empty bottle. We used that B on the Agahnim. Okay, Obscure now knows 100% this is an Agaseed.
All right, it's time to clip. And this is Obscure being heads up. Did they get a bottle?
Yeah.
Okay.
He checked Sick Kid. The bottle's still out of Logic.
So that's the heads-up play if you don't want to do a mimic clip like that. Perfectly done by Willard. You can do a potion glitch instead, and it just requires you purchase that potion and you can drink it, and then you're ready to go.
Yeah, it's just that, like, with what Obscure has, once he gets to the Dark World and sees the pod's a pendant, his best play is stay out of pod. I mean, maybe pod has something. Maybe, Willard will find something amazing here that Obscure will last locate because it's a pendant, but objectively, I would say the better play for Obscure is to stay out of pod.
Yeah, I can see that. But we'll see. We got keys to do some stuff. I wonder. Ooh, there's a tempered sword.
I mean, that's a nice thing to get out of pod. Right, and those are the two non-small key items in the front, so Willard knows that the big key chest and Stalfos basement are both small keys.
Meanwhile, Obscure making their way through Aga 1, through Castle Tower here, and Willard not collecting any money. I thought he would.
That is vanilla. That is a pure vanilla single arrow.
The special salute from the randomizer.
Okay, so Harmless Hellway is locking itself, but he's going to do a key for a key anyway. I guess it is easier. Well, no, he could have just done Dark Maze from the top.
I sense that he probably wants to do it from the bottom because there are more of those Gibdos that you can run into to die.
Dodongos?
Dodongos, okay, yeah.
But these last two chests...
Some cash.
But even if he Death Warps, what's he gonna do? You know?
Yeah.
I don't see what a Death Warp does for him. Okay, health. He is completely stuck unless he goes to Blindside. I don't think there's any other play he can make with the items he has. He just needs to remember that he skipped it.
Yeah, I'm just, so he's starting at his house, so where are we going? Even I'm having to think.
Didn't he do it, Gina? No. He's done Zora, so he doesn't... Well, he can't farm under that rock anyway. He doesn't have a glove. I guess he didn't do it, Gina? Nope, he hasn't been here. Okay.
Probably confusion in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, now he has to remember what he did, and unfortunately this is just gonna cost him some time, and I'm not sure I've seen someone forget Blind's Hut before.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I remember pre-tournament he was talking about like tracker problems and asking what to do about tracking because he didn't bring a laptop, I don't think.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, he's headed in the right direction.
All right. It's time to retrace some steps. Oh, he's touching his head. He knows what he did. I think even despite having the white noise, he can hear us all laughing. And there's the face palm. Hi, Twitch clips.
Meanwhile, Obscure is now seeing the map, so let's see what he does with this information.
Clothes.
Willard,
There's your bombs, your money, and your gloves. We love you, Willard. We're laughing with you.
And now he's flushed with cash too. And Obscure is doing Pendant Pod.
And we all know at this point it's a whiff.
I mean, he'll get a Tempered Sword out of it. He did specifically get a potion-to-potion glitch, though he will have to know that Pod is bow-locked.
So kind of almost incredibly, aside from like the mountain here, like Willard is still very much in this.
Right. The question is, since Obscure's going to insist on doing Pod, how long does it take Willard with the mountain? He will get his Fire Rod. Willard could do Green Pendant, too, before he goes back to the Dark World.
All right, so our runners are definitely just retracing each other's steps at the moment, so, you know, shout-outs to my co-com, Drossi, and to my left, we got Pool Float on tracking. Big ol' thank you. There's a hand. That's Pool Float. If he wants, he can kind of tilt it and be like, so, dude, there we are. And yeah, you can probably find these runners on Twitch. They are often playing rando content.
Yes, they both have a storied history in the main tournament. Willard had a third-place finish back in fall 2018. Obscure had a fourth-place finish, followed by winning the whole tournament in 2022.
And there's the potion glitch by Obscure, by the way. The much easier way to get those mimics off-screen and counted as eliminated.
I was also looking, they have a bit of a league history. In Season 4, their teams were in the same division, and they played each other co-op Enemizer Week. Willard and Brewers fan JP against Obscure and Nobly, and they split.
All right. Obscure setting up things in pod here. We don't have a mirror and no hammer, so we must die. Fish fillet. You know, just like one of my favorite emotes that I always love to use.
Oh.
Fillet of fish.
And there's Willard's flute. Obscure's routing is a little unfortunate here because it'll be a bit before he gets the Tempered Sword and is like, oh, all of these things are small keys. So he's going to find out that all of these things are small keys. Willard does get his little boomerang there. And then he'll go through Spiral Cave. And then he'll probably activate the flute, and then we'll see what he does. Is he gonna check Green Pendant, go all that way to check Green Pendant, realizing that the game might have wanted him to have Green Pendant because the glove was Sphere 1? Or is he just gonna say, if it's on Green Pendant, I've already lost, time to go back to the Dark World?
Yeah, I would sense that he would want to continue on in the Dark World because of the way he beansed the beginning. You know, you really just want to, like, you have to think about, okay, what is something sort of isolated that I can just leave behind forever and just say, if I lose, I lose. You know, I've already dug a hole for myself.
I'm still just amazed that Obscure, with a lot more options, decided to do Pendant Pod.
A little surprising, but the way he's been playing has been very thorough. Hasn't really made any skips yet.
Other than his initial skip of Bonk Rocks, but he eventually went back to that.
He cleaned that. We patched that up over there, but then, because I mean, he last located Agahnim, whereas Willard, given his situation, was pretty much forced to.
Okay, so in terms of the ground we've covered, Willard now actually has a slight lead. The difference in time basically being that Obscure got the green pendant from Desert and turned it in.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, we got a race. I was worried that this was going to be one of those, like, someone immediately loses 3 minutes in. You know, then we would have to, like, figure out our stand-up routine to entertain everyone for, like, an hour and a half. But,
well, fortunately, the glove blocked Willard soon enough, and Obscure's being so thorough that, yeah, they're in the same place, basically.
We're doing an early catfish play from Willard. It tracks with Aga 1. You know, we can save and quit and be thrown straight back to... Oh, and the red cane.
We do need that.
Ooh.
Shout out to Legendary Moon sitting there behind Josh, who is a big fan of catfish. If you watch Obscure's stream, you know how much of a fan of Catfish Moon is.
So in short, she's just thrilled.
And I'm sure when Obscure gets the Cane of Samaria, he will be thinking of her.
Yeah, we probably have a 10-second countdown to a chuckle from Obscure. Like, you know, in about, let's think, about 5, 4, no, wait, we got to do the rattle off here,
right.
too. So it's going to be like coming in about like 3, 2, 1, and... Oh, no react. Oh,
okay, slight chuckle. There we go.
A slight smirk.
But as I was saying a while ago, that hook shot really does seem to have been the key here, that not finding any immediate progression on the mountain, the game wanted us to have the hook shot so we could get to West Darkwood. And
yeah.
Skullwoods is full clearable, so Willard is going to go to the back here.
And it is a crystal. We do need it.
It's a 5-6 even.
Spicy. And I love having the cane so we can skip this puzzle here, because it's so annoying with the with the enemies here, just here to ruin your day.
As a kid, when I didn't realize you could do dungeons out of order.
You mean you were just playing the way the developers intended?
I also didn't know, like, you could use Bombos and Ice Palace, all these tricks I've learned from Rando.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite things about the Rando and how beautifully it's aged through the years. It's just, in terms of like the controls, it feels nice. The art looks great. And as a randomizer, it almost feels like tailor-made to be a randomizer.
Okay, our first 2 items in Skullwoods are the map and compass figures.
So Willard setting up that death warp. Now we're going to be able to go fight Mothula.
And Mothula must either have an item or the big key leading to an item in the big chest, because we've found the map and compass and Mothula can't have her lock a small key.
And this is why I'm glad I have Drossi as a co-com, because I never remember these sorts of things. Like, anyone who has seen me race knows that aside from an absolute beginner, I am the most empty-brained runner in the community. I just, like, operate off vibes. I'm like, yeah, this feels good. I should go there, do that.
And Obscure intentionally taking a death for the heart refill. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't try to make it to Bridge Chest and then just death warp from there.
Yeah, maybe he just wants to fight Mothula first.
Well, he's well on his way as Willard is... Mothula's staying kind of high, but the spikes aren't coming out, so that was a pretty good fight.
Yeah, thank you. We take those fights.
And the item was just a big 20.
And Willard doing some swag.
Wow.
Okay, dude.
That looks painful.
Obscure getting bodied a little in that 2 rooms before the boss. Lost quite a bit of health, but I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, he's also getting a well-behaved moth, except that it's now at the top of the screen, but that'll do it.
Some extra slashes for good measure, saying like, hey moth, not cool.
So there's one item in the front of Skullwoods. And there it is. Okay, Skullwoods is junk, but we did get a 5/6 crystal for our trouble.
Yep, so long to all the other checks. We don't need you. And then we're off probably to Vu.
Yeah, it's nice with that key layout that, you know, all the small keys are just locked in the part of Skullwoods we'll never see.
Yeah, I don't enjoy doing the big loop.
And Obscure, being on full health from doing bridge chest after the Moth fight, now has to run all the way out because he didn't really want to death warp on full health blue mail.
Yeah, it would have taken a hot second to get down. And these are kind of the minor time losses that you don't really think about, and that's, you know, a few seconds here, 10 seconds there, it can put you behind suddenly by a few minutes.
Now, the question is, how far do you go in Pendant Thieves? You treat the front of Pendant Thieves as basically an overworld check, but then you kind of... You hope you get 3 items there.
I mean...
You hope you get progression there.
Yeah, because we get some bombos from the chest game. That's cool. Always feels better to have 2 medallions versus 1 as we enter this mid-game and then eventually have to think about Turtle Rock at some point.
What's amazing is we're 45 minutes in and so far from go mode.
Yeah, it's one of these slow burn seeds. You know, we didn't really get a lot before having to do Aga for our Dark World access, so whenever that happens, you can just feel the seed slow down to a crawl.
There's bottle number 2, which will be the last bottle we see this seed. And we did get the small key, so you really don't want to go into the back without the hammer. Big key has to be one of these 2 checks. So we just hope for an item here, so at least you get 2 items for your trouble.
Nope. It's 1. All right, now some runners.
Oh, okay, Willard is definitely.
We are leaving, yeah.
He killed that first Zazak. I thought maybe he was actually going to try to go to the back.
Yeah, I was going to say some runners will just say, I'm going to just take my 1 item and go. I think Willard probably in his position because of his forgetfulness of Blind's Hut decided, like, I really have to put my foot on the gas.
Yeah, so we have Dig Game, we have Stumpy, we have Hype Cave, and that's about it down here.
Yeah, I mean, rushing Hype Cave makes sense. I mean, I know we have 3 items waiting for us in the back of Thieves.
Yeah.
And that looks like Obscure is going to investigate that.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's still doing the front.
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally got twisted in my rooms, you know, because I had half an eyeball on it.
No, the thing is, Willard has 7 checks here, and if for some reason we don't get any progression in these 7 checks, we have to do the back of Thieves because I don't think we have anything else.
Yeah, I think so.
And that's one of the 7 down without progression.
All right, Stumpy, what you got?
Oh, right. Chat reminding us that Willard never did do Green Pendant, so he could do that or the back of Thieves if he doesn't get progression.
I still feel like he would probably do the back of Pendant Thieves because I really feel like, you know, like Desert is so far back of a double back in terms of your spheres.
Speaking of double back, Obscure is doing the back of Thieves without a hammer.
I mean, fair.
Now,
this is Hype Cave, though.
Since the small key was in front, hammer could be in the attic.
All right, Hype Cave. Let's see. Piece of heart. Boring. And then our next chest. Another piece of heart. Oh, there's a mirror, though.
Okay, that gets us Hera. Oh,
and the hammer.
That's a pretty hype cave.
I give that a nice solid 8 out of 10. That was pretty darn good. That is exactly what we were looking for.
So we can do Hera now. We, of course, have the mirror checks. I think Willard's going to do Cave 45 here.
Might even double back and... oh, wait, no, he doesn't have the mitts yet, so
yeah, but
can't do.
Could do
Smith
bombos.
Chambers. Yeah.
Nope, not doing bombos.
All right, Willard, where to? Show us the way.
Obscure getting into a bit of a fight with Patrick Starr there.
We are going to Hera, most likely.
And Ether. We can pull Ether.
Yeah, I mean, Hype Cave just basically gave us the Hera starter pack. And we got our mirror. We even got the hammer to go wherever we need to.
Obscure finds a heart container, but ooh boy. I didn't actually catch what was in the attic. Was it an item at least?
Missed that, to be honest. Meanwhile, the tablet, $20.
Okay. Chat telling us that there was junk in the attic, so, but it was an item. So if there's an item on blind, then we're not leaving anything in the big chest.
No thanks to that map in the front of Hera there.
Oh, by the way, you know what else is in logic while we're on the mountain? Spike Cave.
Hey, that's true.
And
brand new.
And there is an item in the big chest of thieves down.
All right, we'll have to see how Obscure feels about that. I mean, it's gonna sink both of our runners if it's progression anyway.
Yeah. Well, it'll sink Obscure more because he has even less reason to go back there. But he is making his way to Hype Cave. He will get that mirror. I wonder if he'll check bombos.
I think Willard is taking this time to do the coffee break to think about some decisions coming up on what he should do next.
Well, also, we haven't gotten either item yet, so it's incredibly likely that the big chest has an item. Two-thirds chance that there's an item in the big chest. And we will Harapot, because even with the big key, it saves time.
And Obscure is on his way to his hammer and mirror.
Well, there was an item there in the big chest, so, you know.
And there's no dodging a shield in this seed.
And that will be the only shield we get because of the item pool. I wonder if Obscure will play Hera the same way.
I mean, yeah, he has been very thorough, so I don't see why he wouldn't stop now.
And he does love tile rooms of all shapes and sizes.
All right, Trolldorm, give us a good pattern where we can actually, like, spin on you. There we go.
And Obscure is going down to check bombos. Looks like, unless he's going to K45 from below. Ah, he is going to K45, okay. And Willard gets his second crystal of the game at the 52-minute mark.
Yeah, that feels pretty terrible. I'm not going to lie, in this kind of mode. You're like, how behind, especially with his start, you know, how far behind am I? Is it 5 minutes, 20 minutes?
Well, what's impressive is Obscure has 2 pendants, even though he knew right off the bat that Pet is dead. So the pendants are doing 0 for him.
Yeah, and since the green pendant was dead, you know, Pet is super dead.
And Spike Cave, I mean, that could have been red mail, that could have been another shield, that could have been another bottle for all we know. We're going to see a lot of blue rupees.
So right now, I'd say that we're jonesing for a bow. And there's those mitts.
Whoa, okay. So Obscure Obscure has good radar for finding gloves, and Willard does not. That's what we've learned from this seed.
Yeah, since Willard is making another loop around North Dark World, we're going to check out King's Tomb.
I did not catch the Meyer medallion there. Okay. It always amazes me how quickly these runners do some of those checks.
So those mitts are pretty huge, and
Chat saying Bombo, so we can get into Meyer. We have Samaria. We can full clear Meyer. It is a crystal.
Yeah, do it now.
Oh, but he has the flute out. I don't know why you wouldn't do Meyer, which is a crystal and has 2 items.
All right, we're doing Graveyard Lodge. It's been a hot zone in this tournament. I've seen a lot of stuff there, but not this time. Obscure is doing a shopping trip.
Okay, that makes sense. Got 2 bottles. Now we're in much better condition to do Meyer.
Yeah, since we don't have a bow.
Only I guess he wants to do Hera first.
Yeah, and that's valid. Hopefully Willard will... I would sense that they're probably going to go into the back of Thieves at this point.
Oh, and Obscure with the mitts is going to do Dark Death Mountain before Hera.
Yes.
See if he can find more stuff.
So unfortunately, this will be a time loss for Willard.
Unless there's something in the big chest.
True. We have a hammer and an item in there.
Just like Willard skipped Bombos and, oops, that's mitts. You know, what if Willard pulls a bow out of the big chest, or flippers, or ice rod?
And flippers will be hard required, so...
Ice rod is probably the absolute worst thing for Obscure that Willard could pull from the big chest here, because that can be anywhere.
I mean, chat, can you hear this? Drosy just putting that negative energy into the world? You know, that's so toxic. Just like, oof.
Well, this race, just in terms of the checks the runners have made that have amounted to nothing. Super Bunny wasn't anything. Maybe Hookshot Cave is. Nothing so far.
Just a bunch of garbage.
Total garbage. We didn't actually check TR Medallion, did we? Oh, now we're going to check TR Medallion. Okay. It's probably Quake. Yep.
Classic rando.
Gives us 2 medallions. What do you know? They're actually the medallions we need.
Hey, Obscure, go into Turtle Rock right now for the Ice Rod in Turtle Rock. Do it, you won't.
Yeah, the Ice Rod being the Ice Rod, it's probably on Laser Bridge.
It's a meme for a reason. It's done enough psychic damage to enough runners.
Okay, so we'll also see if Obscure decides to get the item out of Hera Big Chest, which we know is junk, but there is an item there, so it kind of hangs over your head. And here's the moment of truth for Willard.
All right. Aw, disappointment and anger.
Okay, so that means for the time being, Obscure has a lead.
Yeah, I wonder if Willard will continue the counterclockwise loop.
Did Willard not check Ped? Is he just going to get the pendant here in case it's Ped? I guess maybe he didn't.
Know. He should be
that
counting.
book was so early. Right, he should know this is a dungeon item. So the only reason you'd do this is if you think Ped's in play.
I enjoy the nice new pun from Blind there. A healed gambler is all better. Hardy, hardy, hard.
And Obscure did pull the shield as his one item from Hera.
Oh, Willard hitting the reset button.
Oh. What? I mean, I guess he didn't get anything there, but it's odd that you wouldn't just save and quit. I don't know. That was an interesting move.
Well, we're mirroring and going into the breezeway.
Another route you don't often see players take.
Fun fact, as I'm learning the vanilla preset right now because I'm sick of losing, I did not know that tile existed when I was in the vanilla preset tournament this summer.
Wait a minute, Josh. Is Obscure actually doing Turtle Rock here?
Wow, is he accepting my challenge? I am proud of him.
With a full clearable mire, and ice isn't exactly in logic without the flippers, but you could certainly full clear it. And we're going into TR without the ice rod.
This is courageous.
This is one of those Obscure type plays where he does something that looks totally insane, and either it pays off in spades or is a huge waste of time.
Willard forgetting that he does not have the mitts. You're close, bud, but unfortunately you're going into desert instead. So this will be a play to get the green pendant and turn that in for nothing, while Obscure, I mean, in terms of like raw percentages, the ice rod is almost certainly not here and is committing to a double dip.
Yeah, and given all the other stuff you're going to do, you're not saving Portal. You can't save Portal as soon as you go back to the Dark World because you've beaten Aga.
Yeah, so he's thinking maybe it's the meme, or maybe something else is important here, like flippers.
2 small keys there. That's always interesting. But yeah, we have the ability to get all the way to Laser Bridge.
This is definitely a very spicy play. I mean, I'm here for it as a broadcaster, but I do not know as a player if I would do the same choice in this position.
Yeah, no, I'm still surprised he didn't go into Mire and clear it.
This does help out Willard get back into the race, because he'll have to eventually run out of checks and do that tablet in desert.
Ooh!
So it is worth it to come to TR early, because that is a bow, and we need it.
Okay, so that puts Obscure flippers and ice rod from go mode. We're in and still go -2.
And there's a nice kill from Willard there to get their green pendant.
Now, of course, what would be really funny is if Armos Knights has the ice rod now.
Again with the toxicity, you know?
Well, we don't know where the other bow is.
True, true. Of course, probably the other bow is just in GT. But we got so much to check, it could still be somewhere accessible, so... It looks like... What are we doing now, Willard? We're turning in the green pendant, of course. And that's why I say I'm a little bit empty-brained as a runner. I just talked about getting the green pendant to turn it in, and I immediately forgot.
Runner's amnesia.
I'm not saying you should appeal on the ladder if I defeat you in a race, but you should consider it. You're like, how the heck did I lose to that guy? He's an idiot.
Anyway, where's Willard off to now? Is he maybe thinking Bombos tablet? He doesn't have too many options without the mitts. What is he doing? He's realizing he can't exactly go into ice without the mitts.
I don't think he did Ice Rod Cave yet. I know he did.
No? He's charging a Water Walk. Or, no, thinking he might have forgotten, even though thinking he might have bombed the entrance but not actually gotten the item.
So we're thinking about it. Where are we fluting to?
Going to Aga Portal, okay. Not sure what he's planning for me.
Oh, of course.
Oh! Obscure making the totally insane play. And it pays off because Obscure does this stuff and it either pays off in spades or completely blows up in his face, and this is one of the seeds where it pays off in spades.
And this is why I have a Scouter emote, because clearly... This is just a beautiful Galaxy Brain play, and
wow.
It is... Because this is paying off in spades. Alright, Willard is now going to get his mitts, but unless he makes a similar sort of play into Turtle Rock where there's tons of progression, and I wouldn't fault him for not doing that.
Obscure is now in everyone's favorite position, an Ice Rod hunt.
Yep, it is very possible for Willard to find the Ice Rod first, and that would probably push him to Turtle Rock if he did. So maybe just the Ice Rod is in Mire.
Oh yeah, and Obscure did finish Hera, right? It's not marked on his tracker, but I do believe he did beat Moldorm while he was in there. The peanut gallery behind us speculating about PRNG.
You know, Eastern Palace is a hot zone.
Well, Armos, as I say, if Armos Knights has the Ice Rod,
then I really am like a wizard. And maybe that's another reason why to appeal.
I did not roll this seed. Ms. Metroid rolled this seed.
And folks, we like Miss Metroid and all the other lovely SG staff for all their hard work at this event, so give your thanks to them either online or in person. We wouldn't be able to have all of this fun and merriment without them. So in short, thank you, Drosy.
It's been fun. It's been a blast, honestly. Just getting to hang out with so many great people here. Even this Josh guy next to me.
I'm okay. You can still blame Dante, though.
No, we can't. Obscure beat him in the last round. Making one of those crazy Obscure plays. I can't remember what, but it was some crazy Obscure play that Obscure made to beat Dante. Though we should shout out the other runners who are still going at this point. We have had one quarterfinal match already. Error beat Korek. Again, other very established runners. Korek was actually the runner who Willard beat all those years ago to get bronze in the main tournament. And Willard did so by gambling Tile Room, which is now an Obscure type play. So it all comes full circle here. And then for other matches at, I believe, 9:30 we have Megawatt versus Gem, and 10:30 we have Ninjembro versus Skelly. And that's our pool of 8 here.
And it's kind of surreal talking about these times. Oh, and as we get Powder on...
Okay, Ice Rod on Magic Bat. I
sure, why not? Let's just like go like Giga Meme.
There's our 4th sword.
Butter denied, though.
Yeah, that's the only green 20 in this mode. It's what would have been Butter Sword. So, yeah, Obscure immediately going to do Magic Bat. We have not done Smith Chain.
We can now, and I mean, I would be incredibly suspicious of that Magic Powder. It's just the way I route. I see that, I'm like, I don't trust you one iota.
But I would not do Smith Chain at this juncture. Like, you've still got Swamp and Ice.
Willard got the big key, but to Meyer, but I think we're down 1 item still, so he's probably doing a little bit of cleanup. Although, I think we're going to leave behind the cutscene chest. Just one of those time
Yeah.
saves you got to start thinking about when you're an hour and 8 in and you've only completed 2 crystals.
Right. I haven't seen whether we've gotten the map and compass yet or any. Because if we get the map and compass, then Cutscene Chest does have the second item necessarily. And Obscure is off to Ice Palace. I like this. This opens up Pyramid Fairy as well, so it's basically 5 items.
What could be quite fun is if the Ice Rod is in Ice Palace. You know, it would be very fitting.
That's housekeeping the place cold.
Yeah, but then if you take the Ice Rod away from Ice Palace, what happens? Like, are you gonna like just melt the ice caps and flood the Hall of Hyrule?
Lake Hylia gets a little bit deeper, no one notices.
Fortunately, I mean, Willard has a free way to defeat Vitreous despite being low health right now. They could just use their Cane of Burna.
Oh, hello! Our last fetch quest, Mushroom.
Oh, thanks.
But hey, with the flute, that's easy enough to turn in.
Oh yeah, very trivial. And yep, as I was saying, Burna is out for Willard. We're taking no chances. We need to defeat this boss and not die.
Wow, that was a lot of damage to take on the first go-around, and that's even with Blue Mail.
Well, he was in the goo.
Yeah, I know. It does a lot of damage. Oh, right, and Willard does not have the bow, so he's gonna have to do this with Tempered Sword spins. One more, I think, should do it. Yep.
Nicely done.
I didn't actually... What was that the compass that Obscure just pulled? I tried to catch it the next time around. We've got 2 items in any case because that single rupee. There's our 3rd item, so we can just rush Cold Stare now. Don't have to think about Iced Tea, don't have to think about the big chest. Except Obscure's not counting. Counting is hard.
Look, he just wants to fluff the item collection rate at the end of the game. He's trying. I told him that I got a 190 collection rate.
Oh, right. No, he needed the small key here because he didn't hit the switch, so my bad. Blame Drosy. Obscure was smart there. He needed a small key. I mean, I guess he could have gotten it to the room to the right of the drop-down room.
All right, Willard, what's up next for you? Looks like we're going to join Obscure in Ice, which is fine.
So
we need to.
I think in Obscure's situation, you probably turn in Mushroom, then you do Swamp, then you do Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah.
And then you start thinking about Helma King or something awful like that. Oh, well, no, then you do Meyer. Sorry, I forgot that he hasn't done Meyer yet.
Yeah. And so far, we haven't run into any other bows yet, so...
By the way, that was a remarkably good Cold Stare fight.
Oh, yeah. When you have Tempered, there's a way to get a quick kill going.
Yeah. Still, I mean, it's an advanced NMG strat.
Yeah, it's been kind of inspiring. I mean, I went 1 and 3 in my group, and it's kind of inspired me to want to, like, really buckle down. I know as soon as when I get back from the trip here, you know, I'll be talking to Bitey some more to learn how to actually play the game and get on their level. Maybe even think like Obscure too.
Okay, what's in the potion shop now?
Nothing much.
Have we mentioned there are 32 heart pieces in this mode? Willard a bit afraid to hit the switch.
Yeah,
And the nice thing about having beaten Aga is that when we go to do Pyramid Fairy, we can do it the way the game actually intended you to do it.
Yeah. It's so funny because the last time before, you know, playing Randomizer, I hadn't played A Link to the Past in any form in about 20 years, so it's interesting the ways that we do it now in the randomizer, and I haven't done it the developer intended way.
Well, you were saying earlier about like how with randomizer you can short circuit some puzzles.
Yeah.
In other cases, you have to long circuit some puzzles if you haven't done it the developer intended way. Though for short circuiting, Specky Clip is of course legal in this tournament. So that speeds up Swamp a little bit. Go -1, I'm sure you do the back before you do left side.
Yeah, I mean, at this point you're playing a bit to density, but knowing Obscure the way he's been playing, maybe he just does left side anyway. Because he really... Oh, there it is.
Go mode.
1:14:12.
Yep. Okay, so that also means that Willard has to do the deep TR dive. What was it, Crystal Roller that had the flippers?
Yeah. So it's...
So you have to go to Crystal Roller
That is
before
pretty
you
cursed.
can then go to Swamp. You can't save your portal, and then you get the Ice Ride out of the front of Swamp.
We love a good double dip of TR. It's super fun.
So let's just say it would be very difficult for Willard to come back at this point, and we are going to have to ask Obscure about that insane TR play in the interview.
I'm just going to assume he somehow heard my challenge and said, "All right, Josh, I knew you told me you were calming my match, so I'm going to have to, style on you."
Obscure not even looking for silvers on the way.
No.
I'd open those chests looking for silvers, you know. It's such a quick check.
True.
And saves, like...
I feel like it's interesting because if I were in Obscure's shoes and I did that TR play early like that, I would feel giga ahead.
Yeah.
And I would maybe take that time. I would be okay with taking a few seconds here and there to check those things.
And we'll see what's on Pyramid Fairy on Willard's side, since he can't exactly do Swamp. Nice quick kill on Argus for Obscure. That is crystal number 5. So Obscure still needs to do Mire. He needs to go back through TR and beat Trinex. This is going to be like an hour and a half at least.
Yeah. Oh, the other bow.
Vanilla bow.
Super cool game. The look on Willard's face is just like an eye roll at this point.
But that's just going to keep him out of TR longer.
Yeah, and that's... Yeah.
Because now you beat Armos Knights before you do anything else.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, there's just no way out of doing that double dip. It's hard required, and yeah, I mean, this is just a tough chain of events.
Yeah. Also a crazy seed in general. Maybe Ms. Metroid should now have a reputation for her seeds.
I mean, this is definitely medium cursed. Someone who rolls really cursed seeds is Yoinker's wife. They roll the most disgusting garbage ever.
Ladies and gentlemen, the unfiltered Josh Bittner.
I gotta speak the truth. It's just honesty. I mean, anytime there's been the SG Weekly, pretty much everyone's like, no, no, no.
Anyway, where was that big key in Mire? Was it Compass Chest? No, Compass Chest had Butter Sword.
I want to say it was in the arena.
Okay, Lobby Chest, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I never know the correct names for these things, which is also going to drive anyone batty that's going to coach me in the vanilla preset, because I was just like, yeah, it's the room with the thing.
Just start reading the spoiler logs.
Yeah, but I have a pilot for spoiler week. Hi, Late Bit. I know you're in chat.
Yep, I did see Late Bit in chat there at some point.
And I have already called dibs for Late Bit for whenever the next pilot spoiler tournament happens. So he did great in our week 4 match.
Okay, so there's Obscure's Butter Sword, and he is not doing cutscene, not surprisingly, so he'll get his biggie here in the lobby. Willard will get his powder from Armos Knights, which again will keep him away from TR all the longer.
That's a nice little rail extension right there, that door state extension from Obscure. That way you don't have to run around the entire room there. It saves you some time.
Yeah, if you can do it smoothly like Obscure did. I've seen some runners, you know, try it 5 times, at which point it would have been faster to just go around.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, I just call them good hands days or bad hands days. Like, you know, and like sometimes if you know that you're having a good hands day, it's like, all right, all the execution's going my way.
So I wonder if Willard's going to do the entire Smith chain now to stay out of TR. Yep, he's going to the Dark World. This is a full Smith chain play.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a hard decision to go into Turtle Rock because you have to sacrifice the time on a mountain climb.
Yeah.
And I mean, the odds of the ice rod are still not amazingly in your favor there. So, you know, it's a dungeon that, oh man, I'm going to have to double dip it too, so that means 2 mountain climbs.
Yeah, no, this is where it worked out for Obscure to basically last locate the mountain that he
Yeah, did the YOLO play.
Well,
sort of YOLO.
That he had exhausted Thieves Town, that he, you know, did Bombos shortly after getting that hammer and mirror, so that he had the mitts when he came to the mountain to do Hera, and was therefore on the Dark Mountain as well, and was like, well, I'm here anyway, I had to do the climb anyway. Whereas for Willard, it's an additional climb.
Yeah. Well, there's 20 rupees there. I think, well, basically, because we found where the silvers are, there's really going to be nothing but garbage with...
Cape. Cape's probably the best thing he could find.
Yeah, and that's still not really going to help. That's crystal number 6 for Obscure. Now it's the revenge tour of Turtle Rock, and then he'll be able to finish the game in Ganon's Tower and roast the bacon.
At least he's full cleared Turtle Rock, so he just has to run through it.
I always get a chuckle with those like required double dips, and I see everything open. It's like, wow, it's almost as if someone's been here before.
Yeah, I don't think there's much to see or say at this point that we haven't already seen or said, so let's just see what the layout of the bracket is here. Pull it up quickly. So the winner of this will be playing the winner of the Megawatt versus Gem match. As we said, that match will start at 8:30, so not too long after this finishes. No, sorry, that's a 9:30 match, so another hour and a half off. Does that have a channel? No. So it may not get a restream. We may just be reporting the results. The Skelly versus Engembro match at 10:30 will be on Speedgaming Main, and the winner of that will face Error.
Oh yeah, you know, just 2 runners that you're just dying to face in a tournament, Gem and Erior, you know, just like both who have left like a trail of bodies in their wake in this tournament, just...
And, you know, Megawatt isn't exactly a lightweight.
Oh no, if you're at this point in the tournament, you have definitely crushed, stomped, and destroyed some people.
And just looking at the runners who fell in the first round, in the round of 16 here, people like Dante and Relkin.
Yep, the top 16 are some serious gamers.
Ganon's gone wild for that matter.
It's a best of one, so, you know, sometimes you just gotta take your chances. Kind of like what Obscure did here, so he's going to be able to advance on a very smart play in Turtle Rock. As long as he's able to keep this together and, you know, finish this one out on time here. I suspect Willard is going to be going into Turtle Rock after this. Bullied by the jelly. Thank you.
That's rough. But yeah, I don't know how much Willard even has left besides TR now.
Yeah.
He'll get silvers.
I think that's a block. No, you are underneath the block. I was about to say, if you're not careful and you mirror in that general location, you could find yourself mirroring on the block and bouncing off.
Chad also reminding us that Gamachu is yet another runner who fell in the first round, mostly because he didn't check bumper ledge. It's not like Gamma ever loses races for not checking bumper ledge.
Ladies and gentlemen, Drossi is out for blood.
But that's how Gem's now in the quarterfinals.
All I know is just because of that, I suspect Drossi is not getting a Christmas card from Gamachu.
We should, by the way, mention that Gamachu Gem seed was so bad that Gem actually did left side swamp.
And I accidentally have photographic evidence of that, so he cannot deny it. I was just taking a random photo of the match just for the photos channel, and he's like, "Don't you dare take photos of me in left side swamp." That was pretty funny.
So that is crystal number 7 for ObscureLifeForm, which means that there are numbers appearing in chat. Josh, do you have a favorite check number or location for the big key?
I usually say 15 because that means it's almost certainly in Rando Room, and it's to spite me because I jokingly hate on Rando rushers in the community. And so that means it's in Rando Room, so it's the max time loss for me and the most advantage for them. And maybe an additional challenge, call your shot. Say a chest, too, in the chat. I'm going to say Rando Room top left.
Yeah, I generally like Rando Room bottom left myself. But here we go into the tower.
Willard realizing that those were the other bow, and especially when he's about to get the flippers, he's going to be pretty upset.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's not going to have a chance to use those silvers, most likely, before Obscure finishes.
And Obscure going straight to the left. That probably implies either a Rando Rush or a DM strat. Depends on what he does in here.
Wow, that's a lot of small keys.
So 5 checks of nothing.
Yeah, we are going right now. Could just be in Hope Room all along. Yep.
6 it is in the chat, and Hope Room right if you were calling your shot.
And what do you know? Legendary Moon, guess 6. Nice job. Makes up for the catfish play, I'm sure.
Had to rig something for Legendary Moon after that, you know.
She's clearly watching the stream without the delay, and that's how she knows.
There is an advantage to being here in person, you know. Meanwhile, Obscure is going to be making their climb. And Willard is about to discover those flippers. So, you know... Well, we got to get through Mimic Cave first. We're checking that out, but then we're going to see probably another eye roll from Willard. He's been very expressive on camera during this race.
Some race nearby just finished.
Yeah, one of the
heard applause coming through.
One of the Zooters.
Yeah, just a reminder, we have like 9 different events here at Speedgaming Live. Link to the Past had the most participants. We started out with 53 runners, which we've now narrowed down to 7, soon to be 6. But, you know, things like Super Metroid Rando and Ocarina of Time Rando had 20 plus, and there are Willard's Flippers. And now you have to do Laser Bridge and hope that Ice Rod is there, but of course it isn't.
Meanwhile, Obscure all the way through Landmos too.
Yes.
That's one of my like rando dyslexias that I got going on. I always flip-flop Landmos and Moldorm in my head, and then my tongue just spits out the other one. All right, here comes the disappointment tour for Willard here at Laser Bridge. Not going to get what he wants.
You can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you'll find you get what you need.
But not in Turtle Rock.
No. Not even in this bottom chest, which is sort of the canonical Ice Rod location when you can't find Ice Rod anywhere else.
So with those flips, we're probably going to insta-mirror and head on over to Swamp, and that will get to go mode for Willard, but barring something incredibly unfortunate, that's going to be too little too late, but we don't know that. Willard doesn't know that, so he's going to be playing his heart out. And, you know, I mean, winning a round in the round of 16 is really cool because there is a prize pool on the line, and by making it to the second round, you get a percentage of the prize pool as opposed to a set $25 prize that was given to the 9th through 16th place players.
Yeah, so both of these runners are guaranteed at least 2.5% of the prize pool, and the one who advances, I believe, gets 10% guaranteed. And it's roughly a $3,000 prize pool, pretty close to it. So the winner of this race will be going home with at least a couple $100, maybe more if they advance to the finals.
Yeah, I mean, always cool to make money playing rando.
Make back the cost of your admission ticket to SGL.
There you have it. Obscure in. Good old Aga 2 getting shot.
Yeah. And Willard about to get his go mode at 1:32, so that is like 20 minutes after Obscure's go mode.
Yeah, there's the face of disappointment right there. Unfortunate, but rando gun rando, and this is a best of one, so.
Yeah, we just don't have time in a 4-day event to have, you know, multi-game series with something the length of ALTTPR.
Yeah, that would be pretty intense. I did a triple header on Thursday, just the way scheduling worked out. And that was exhausting. I couldn't imagine doing best of threes after that.
Super Metroid Rando is doing some multi-game series. Zelda 1 Rando, Super Mario 3 Rando. Those are all doing multi-games, but this is a little bit too long for that.
Yeah.
Agahnim will ask Obscure if he found the silver arrows in the Dark World.
And that'll be interesting because Obscure cleared basically all of the Dark World, and he's just going to go like, no.
Well, he never did Smith Chain.
Yeah, that's true. He could just think it's on Smith's.
Yeah. But he'll know it has to be Smith Chain or Pyramid Fairy because I think he did everything else in the Dark World. Actually, he never did Spike Cave, did he? Willard did. I don't think Obscure did.
Yeah, I think Willard, because of his play into TR, that would have been something to do if you weren't playing.
There's the orange glitch. We've got the music on Obscure, Vanilla Ganon fight music. He still has a couple of blue goos, so he is fine for Magic to just be spamming the Fire Rod to relight the torches.
Yep, we are in spin to win mode here.
There we go. Exploding bacon.
Get your GGs in chat for Obscure. They are moving on to the next round,
Which will be the semifinals. Probably tomorrow morning. And
134-38. Willard having enough.
Yeah. Do a victory dance. Come on, Obscure. Do the victory dance. And we'll give them a chance to recover a bit, and then we'll be back here for interviews.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, because these 4 seats. Hey, we are here with WillardJBradley and ObscureLifeForm. GG's, guys.
GG's.
GG's, Willard.
So, Obscure, I ran into you in the lobby before this started and told you I was going to calm your match. What did you tell me?
I told you I was about to forfeit because I don't want to embarrass myself on the stream.
And yet, even though you were being threatened with Josh Bittner comms, you stuck it out and you got the W. So
I just
congrats.
pretended it was Drossie twice.
Fair. I mean, there's significantly more going on up here so that it can't really be Drossie twice.
But, yeah, where to start? Willard, Blind's Hut.
Whoops. I blame the pedestal. Completely changed my muscle memory, and then...
Yeah, it was interesting seeing you guys enter CAC via the well. You don't see that very often.
Yeah. It was a mistake. And then it's like, once you make that kind of mistake and then you start lassocating, you are just freaking out when you're like, no, that wasn't it. No, that wasn't it. And then you make more mistakes, and it just kind of compounded. So I'm sorry I couldn't give you a good race, y'all. My bad.
But that didn't actually cost you anything, because Obscure, despite having other options after beating Aga, went into Pendant Pod as well and full cleared it.
And
Yeah, we talked about this, Willard. Like, you can never trust my routing, so you never feel like you're behind with me.
I mean, I was going to need a miracle to make up for my mistakes, which I didn't really try and, like, skip anything.
Would you believe you had a lead right up until Obscure pulled the mitts off of Bombos?
What?
You had a lead in the Dark World right up until Obscure pulled the mitts off of Bombos.
I kind of heard some whooping when I saw the high pay button. No. I just, I brain farted on Bombo's tablet and went straight for a K45 and just... you get in your head when you make mistakes, and then you make more. But it's okay. I had fun, kinda.
You gave us some incredible faces on the cams during the race, too. So, the content machine for this race was just through the roof.
I was hoping that Bo out of Pyramid Feria was going to bail me out. Because then, you get flippers, you get Ice Rod, and then it's like, okay, where do I look for this Bo? But then... TR just had everything.
Yeah, and that's what the mitts really led to. Like, I'm still amazed you went into TR. Only you would do something that crazy. But
and if you watch the VOD back, when you were getting onto the mountain, I challenged you to go into Turtle Rock early. So I'm assuming you must have heard that, because I said like, Obscure, if you can hear me, go into Turtle Rock, do it, you won't. And then you were just like, challenge accepted.
Honestly, if I heard you say that, I would have changed my mind instantly. Yeah, but it's as you said, like, when it comes to an Aga seed, I'm never sure whether to go to Palace of Darkness or not. I decided to go to it. It was bow locked. I thought I'd clear it on there. I did get a Tempered Sword out of it, but at that point, I felt like I'm kind of behind. Went into Thieves Town, cleared that out. I was like, okay, I am definitely behind now. So when I got the stuff in, the mirror, the hammer, the mitts, my first thought was back to Thieves Town and go to the big chest. And then I was like, no. I was like, watch this play. And I was like, went up the mountain, done all that stuff. And I was like, okay, Hera into Turtle Rock, because at this point, if I don't do this, I'm dead in the water.
Yeah, I felt a little weird going for the Ice Palace play, but I was just hoping for some sort of like flippers in TR leading to Ice Rod in Ice Palace, which would have been huge. But then like getting the bow and then the powder on Armos didn't help. It definitely didn't ruin me, but it didn't help because then it sent me over to West Side where I just did that in Smith Chain, and I wanted to just go straight up the mountain going to TR after getting that bow and beating Eastern, but I got a little sidetracked. So.
Oh, by the way, one other thing I remembered I was going to ask. Do you have any words for Moon back there about catfish?
Yeah, I dedicate that seed to Moon. Thank you. The memes hold strong.
Yeah, we saw a little smirk when you got the Kanon catfish. I was just like, you're thinking of Moon right this very second for the meme.
Yeah, like on my stream, every time we're about to go catfish, we get catfish dancing. It's a bit of fun. But I could see, I don't know if when you've been on Restream, you can kind of see the top of people's heads. And I can see a lot of... Willard's very animated.
Yes, he was doing some mean mugging for the camera.
I felt very left out playing against him. I kind of wanted to just watch the Restream and see what was going on.
I feel like some of my goofing around may have caused my mistakes, but it was worth it.
You put on a good show.
You got to do it for the...
That's what we're supposed to do. We're here for the money. Congrats on the more money, Obscure.
You got your admission fee paid for by getting this far.
I'll take it.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to think. Top four?
It's insane. Even back in the main tournament, it's like this isn't real because I still to this day don't consider myself a top runner. I can compete, but I wouldn't say I'm necessarily justified. And I think today, the way I route and everything, it's just kind of, a lot of the time, it's just blind luck, I feel like.
Rando gun rando, you know? It's just
Absolutely.
how it goes.
But I'm happy to be here. It's going to be an interesting day tomorrow. A lot of good races, a lot of good runners. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens in the
Well,
end.
got to see tonight who your opponent even is tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not even sure who the other side of the bracket is. I haven't
I
checked.
think you're facing the winner of Megawatt and Gem.
Great.
Willard making, you know.
Huh? Sorry. Yo, GG's Obscure.
Yeah, GG's Willard. It's
Yeah.
a good race.
I think we're kind of at the end of the road here.
Yeah, let's see what's coming up next on here. I know we have a very full schedule tonight. What are we on, SG2? Yeah, Zelda 1 rando coming on here in about 10 minutes. So if you want to see the OG Zelda, stick around and we'll have that up for you next. Once again, thank you to Pool Float for doing our tracking. GG's again to the runners,
Yeah.
and thanks to all the staff over at the tech desk behind the scenes who've been making this all happen.
Indeed. You know, thanks to Drossi for having me on. I know you've been working hard on the comms and even behind the scenes, rolling seeds.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun here.
Glad we could do this.
Yeah, me too. Hi to my wife Ruby back in California. Next year we'll bring Snowball, and y'all can meet Snowball. And
Sounds like a plan. And
we shall see.
yeah, and we're gonna clear out of here and stay tuned for some
Yeah.
Zelda 1 rando.
Yeah, let's make some room and see y'all later. And it's dinner time for me. Bye-bye.